Welcome. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Dr. Peter Viscusi, our Vice President and Academic Dean.
Thank you, Dr. Mainland, for your role as Grand Marshal in today's ceremony. Thank you also to Dr. Kelly Hudson and the Concords for their stirring performance of our national anthem, and Dr. Kip Cortez for our prelude. On behalf of Concord University, I welcome you to our Founders Day celebration. Today, we celebrate our 146th year. Once a year, Concord University has the opportunity to celebrate Founders Day to reflect on the rich legacy, close but different, rich legacy and history of the university, and to highlight the dedicated service of our faculty, staff, and students. Thank you for joining us on this special occasion. It is now my pleasure to introduce Concord University's president, Dr. Kendra Boggess.
Thank you. Thank you especially to the Fine Arts Department for all the work they put into preparing for this event and others like it. Their talent and execution of music itself sets a backdrop to our events that provides the best possible environment for our remembrance of Founders Day. Dr. Mainland, Dr. Hudson, and the Concords, and Dr. Ball and the band, thank you so much for your participation and contributions to our ceremony. Thank you as well to Dr. Viscusi, our faculty, staff, and students for attending today. I would like to take a few moments to recognize several special guests who've joined us for today's ceremony. Mr. Richard Gerald, member of the Board of Governors, please stand so we can recognize you. Sally Howard, member of the Board of Governors. And Katerina Santos, member of the Board of Governors, if you appear. Also, Rose and Mike Kessinger from the Alumni Association. Thank you for being here. Today, we're going to take a few moments from our busy schedules to celebrate the founding of Concord University. This year marks the 146th anniversary or year of our institution's founding, actually on this day, and it doesn't always fall on the 28th. Founders Day is a time when we can celebrate the rich history and the promising future of Concord University. It allows us a time to reflect on how our past has shaped who we are and an opportunity to define the goals we've set for ourselves for the future. We've seen many changes in our institution during its history. Concord was chartered by the state legislature on February 28, 1872, as a branch of the state normal school to offer what was called a normal teaching certificate to those preparing to instruct in area schools. We opened our doors to the first 70 students at the site of what is currently Athens School on State Street. The present campus grew from a 26-acre farm plot purchased from the Vermillion family after fire devastated the Midtown location in November of 1910. Reflecting continued expansion, the name of our institution changed from Concord State Normal School to Concord State Teachers College in 1931, and 12 years later, in 1943, to Concord College. And then again, the name was changed in 2004 to Concord University. Like those who came before us, we share a deep commitment to and belief in the power of education to make a difference in the lives of our students, our communities, and the greater society. Concord has always been a pillar of educational excellence, an institution committed to community service, and a place that welcomes all who want to come to learn and go to serve. Concord offers the bright light of opportunity to students, as well as access for local, statewide, and local or international communities where education, sound liberal arts foundations, and a diversity of ideas and people are valued. It's now my pleasure to provide you with an introduction of a very special person. His name is Adam Pauly, and he is a 2013 honors graduate of Concord University. He was a Bonner Scholar when he was here, and a McNair Scholar alum, and we have a former employee who came to tell me she had to see him because he was her other son. So I think he was adopted many, many times while he was here. He was also an active member of the Concord communities when he served as the student representative to the Board of Governors. He was the first Concord University recipient of the Gilman Scholarship. The Gilman Scholarship is a program of the United States State Department which enables its recipients an opportunity to study or participate in an internship abroad. Adam took that opportunity and he studied and worked in Austria. He returned to the States and continued his education at WVU, where he earned a master's in professional accountancy at the College of Business and Economics in 2014. After graduation, Adam returned to his hometown of Whitesville, West Virginia, where he successfully secured the town's selection of the, quote, Turn This Town Around project, a community revitalization program sponsored by the West Virginia Community Development Hub. His efforts helped to secure more than $2.3 million for community and economic development projects for the town of Whitesville. He now serves on the Hub's Turn This Town Around selection committee. Adam resides in Charleston, West Virginia, where he works for the office of the West Virginia State Auditor. Welcome home, Adam. Please welcome him for me.
Hello, fellow Concordians. I'm supposed to say I was honored when asked to deliver these remarks today. Excuse me, and I am, but I'm genuinely excited. It's always so good to be home. Laura called a few weeks ago to ask if I will give this address. I immediately paused in conversation to tell Laura I need to think about it. I didn't really need to think about it, though. It's always been a dream of mine to give a TED Talk, and I thought, this is my opportunity. bright lights, a big stage, a microphone, and floor-sized letters that read Concord. If you know anything about TED Talks, the talks are centered on an idea, typically concise, informative, and given by an expert in a particular field, which presents an issue for me because I'm not really an expert in any field. So I need an idea, right? Well, what is an idea? Google says an idea is a thought or suggestion to a possible course of action. And where do ideas originate? We can all agree that ideas are everywhere, and each of us contribute our own thoughts and our own beliefs. With 7 billion people buzzing around this planet, perhaps the most important idea of all is a university, a place to not only expect and explore ideas, but a place for ideas to flourish. Today we celebrate the founders of Concord, and I think it's safe to say this bunch are really the idea people. So who are these idea people? The school attributes its name to Sarah Holroyd, after her idea to name the area's first church Concord, as Sarah believed, a place for everyone. William Reynolds then carries the idea of a school to Capitol Street in downtown Charleston, seeking legislative approval. However, the state's new constitution in 1872 would prohibit the creation of schools using tax dollars. Reynolds successfully lobbies the charter just prior to the Constitution's ratification. Today, we call that writing term papers the night before they're due. Colonel French loves the idea of establishing a school in this area so much, he pledges to donate land for the school's first building. Unfortunately, his offer expired when he did, and an impatient legislature and willing neighbors in Princeton, such opportunists, a deadline is placed upon the town to provide land and funds for the school. A generous idea from William and Martha Martin includes the donation of 6 acres of land. The townspeople match this idea and raise $1,700, or $34,967.37 in today's money, adjusted for inflation, of course. I think that's quite the accomplishment without Kickstarter. We are not sure who had the idea to design the school's first building. Only 4 rooms, exposed rafters, and no source of heat. Shall we say the essential design serves its purpose, and the school welcomes the first 70 students in 1875. 10 years of raging success in this building leads to another idea to construct a newer facility. Fortunately, the legislature is more generous at the end of the 19th century and provides a $5,000 appropriation to construct the new brick building. George Ford arrives to the school in 1896. While other schools discourage the idea of athletics, Ford holds to his belief of training the mind and the body and establishes Concord's first football program. No one has any idea that a fire will break out and destroy the school on November 22, 1910. However, the idea to continue the school is made later that day while the rubble still smolders. 1911 in Athens begins with the idea to establish a fire department, except it didn't, because in 1912 the school burned again. 1911 isn't totally void of ideas. Stephen and Rhoda Vermillion sell some farmland, 26 acres of land, this area right now, to expand the school. Fireproof construction of the administration building finishes up in 1912, and that's probably a novel idea after 2 fires. 1931 welcomes an idea to change the name of the school from Concord State Normal School to Concord Teachers College. President J. Frank Marsh takes on a personal loan to build a president's home in 1932. This idea is probably illegal because technically he builds a private residence on state property with personal funds. I like to think President Marsh's action encourages us to lean for our ideas. Now, let me be clear, not to cheat, but to lean for the idea. The state legislature introduces an idea to cut funding and abolish all state teacher colleges in 1933. Thankfully, this legislation is wildly unpopular and fails to pass. Kendra, that's 1933, not 2018. Perhaps my favorite idea opens in 1941, the J. Frank Marsh Library. 1943 revisits a familiar idea, and the name changes again, this time to Concord College. J. Frank Marsh Jr.'s appointment to president in 1959 eventually leads to a controversial idea to build a new student center. The Oakley Logan Alexander Trust funds a different kind of idea during Marsh's tenure and builds the Fine Arts Center we sit in today. Bill Laird and Jim McNeely form a new idea of a student government association after multiple controversies in the 1960s. President Marsh's commitment and idea to strengthen faculty and credentials and attain excellence in academics does not impress everyone. And after 100 years of instruction at Concord, the Board of Regents in Charleston proposes their own idea to consolidate Concord and Bluefield State. President Marsh expectedly disagrees strongly with this idea and challenges the Board of Regents. The Board of Regents fires President Marsh. 2 years pass, and Concord College returns to an independent idea in 1974. Concord Charlie's idea of a good time is a lavish breakfast with a tease of good weather. Although Mother Nature offers a different idea in 1985 with temperatures at 30 degrees below, there is no support for the idea of a snow day, and class continues on regular schedule. In 1988, to supplement decreasing state tax dollars, newly appointed President Jerry Beasley begins his idea as a quest for scholars, quite literally, and hikes throughout communities in West Virginia to raise money for scholarships. Corella and Bertram Bonner share their idea with Concord in 1991 and established the Bonner Scholars Program with a $5 million endowment. The idea to renovate towers begins in 2009, my first year at Concord, and I understand this idea is now complete. 2 years later, as a junior, I enter the office of my work-study supervisor, Susie Luss, to describe my idea to study abroad for a semester. Susie encourages me, neither of us familiar with the exact process of what my idea will require, but in true Concord fashion, we not only devise a plan, I receive a scholarship from the State Department. Today, we celebrate 146 years of people and ideas, both at the heart of the institution we share. Concord began as an idea in 1872, and over time, faculty, staff, students, and alum all contribute ideas which comprise the university we know today. Concord's history proves all ideas do not succeed. Ideas can literally burn to the ground twice. Others may challenge and defeat our idea. We can even lose our job for our idea. Ideas may run out of money or result in a windfall. Ideas may last a year, a decade, or beyond a century. This celebration is yet another idea we share with Concord and with each other. It is my honor to congratulate the 2018 Presidential Excellence Award recipients. I'm certain these individuals can attribute their dedication, their service, and perhaps an idea to this high honor. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Concord University Band under the direction of Dr. David Ball.
Thank you, Dr. Ball and the band, for your performance. It's not often that we have an opportunity to recognize the individuals who make Concord the place we all call home. We'd like now to take a few moments to acknowledge several individuals whose dedication to Concord, to its mission, and most importantly to its students, merits nomination for the Presidential Excellence Awards. It's been both an honor and a challenge to choose among the many numerous and worthy nominations. When we started these awards a few years ago, we probably got 10 or 12 nominations. This year, when I came in about a month ago, there was a book that was about this thick with nominations that you've made of one another. They came from every constituency group, and they were made across all categories of employees. If nominated, you may not know yet who nominated you, but we're going to send you the nomination form, and so you can see what other people have said about what a difference you made in their lives. It was very, very difficult to choose the awardees, but we're going to move ahead and announce those people. First, I'm going to ask all of the nominees, however, to stand, as I want to recognize all the things that every one of you do for the institution. The Faculty Presidential Excellence Award nominees are, and if you'll please stand, Ms. Angela Adair, and just stay, if you keep standing, Ms. Lindsay Akers, Mr. Sean Allen, Dr. Charles Bridgeford, Dr. Nancy Burton, Dr. David Chambers, Dr. Kimberly Chambers, Dr. Darrell Crick, Dr. Deborah Curry, Dr. Charlotte Davis, Dr. Rick Drugish, Dr. Angie Edwards, Miss Angela Fidele, JD, Dr. Diana Grick, Dr. Kathy Hawks, Mr. Robert Hoffman, Dr. Stephen Keene, Dr. Keith Lilly, Dr. Kathy Liptak, Miss Lori Pace, Dr. Lori Reed Miller, Dr. Elizabeth Roth, Dr. Amanda Sawchuk, John David Smith, Juris Doctorate, and Mrs. Karen Veranch. Can we please offer a hand of thanks for them? Thank all of you. Okay, as I name the winners, will you please come forward together and receive your plaques? And the winners are Dr. Diane Grick, Miss Angela Fidele, Dr. Nancy Burton, and Dr. Kim Chambers. I'm not sure if there's enough room to come that way. We probably need to, they've got the organ out, so if we'll come this way, please, today. Looks like a good place to fall. Next, the Classified Staff Presidential Excellence Award nominees are, and if you'll please stand, William Bailey, Shay Booth, Charles Brown, Tammy Brown, Eric Curry, Nancy Ellison, Eric Jewell, Crystal Land, Kevin McMillian, Kim Nichols, Chad Parsons, Derek Scott, Foster Shepard, Chris Smallwood, Tara Taylor, Tyler Webb, Alvin White, Steve Wood, Laura Woolwine, and Carolyn Worley. Thank each of you for all that you do. Will the winners please come forward together and receive your plaques? Kevin McMillian, Chris Smallwood, and Eric Curry. The non-classified staff Presidential Excellence Award nominees are Dr. Sarah Beasley, please stand, Mr. Rick Browning, Mr. Rick Dillon, and Mr. Blake Farmer. Will the winners please come forward together and receive your plaques? Dr. Sarah Beasley and Blake Farmer. The Student Presidential Excellence Award nominees are Tyler Coy, Sarah Fancher, Erica Garnes, Chelsea Goins, Victor Joseph, Stephen Kennedy, Maisie Landreth, Edith Johanna Martinez, Uchenna Onwudinjo, Brandon Plyer, Jeremy Vance, Morgan Kelsey Walls, and Wafa Zubair. I'll ask the winners to please come forward together again and receive your plaques. Tyler Coy, Maisie Landreth, Kelsey Walls, and Brandon Plyer.
This is Tyler.
And finally, the Auxiliary Staff Presidential Excellence Award nominees are Jonathan Keaton, Lori Keaton, she is deceased, Melissa Kinzer, and Maddie Payne. Will the winners please come forward together and receive your plaques? And the winners are Maddie Payne and Jonathan Keaton. As we celebrate Founders Day, we extend to you our continued commitment that Concord University will remain the place for excellence and accomplishment that would astound and delight those founders who have come before us. We realize that's not without challenges. It was their dream, it is our dream, and we recognize that their preparations and sacrifices were made in order for our students to achieve their dreams and their goals. We've taken up that dream and we carry it forward today. It's important for us to come together on occasions like Founders Day, not only to remember, to acknowledge, and to thank those people who've come before us, but to also give ourselves a chance to reflect on the triumphs that take place each and every day on the Concord University campus. I sincerely thank each of you for having taken the time to join us, and I'm looking forward to seeing you often on the Campus Beautiful. Thank you so much.
We invite you to join us in singing the Alma Mater. Would you please stand? The words for the Alma Mater can be found on the back of your programs. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Kelly Hudson will direct the Concord University Concords. I invite you all to join us in a reception in the lobby afterwards. And now the audience may be seated while the faculty, please, will remain standing for the recessional.